Well, hello, Salem. Welcome back to Clay at Home. Ella and I are here working with our clay. And so we've got our pound of clay that we've already worked with and we've already wedged out, and we made our snowman with last time. If you still have your snowman,
Mine's disintegrated.
they're looking rough. So actually this works. So let's leave the snowman off to the side. But don't add them into your extra clay. Right now, pull your snowman out. And let's just use the other clay. But it's starting to dry up a little bit.
Mine's
So,
still moisturized.
all right, I'm going to take some water. And I'm going to dip my hands in the water. And I'm going to rub it on the middle of my clay. Like that. And then I'm going to smush my clay up. What I'm doing is I'm adding extra to it. I'm just adding some more liquid or more moisture into my clay. All right, so here's what we're doing today. We're going to create some coils. I'm going to show you how coils can be useful to make all different stuff. We'll start with a ball. So tear off a piece of your clay, and I said a ball, but actually let's start with an oval shape.
Got a little lot.
This shape I find works the best for coils. And I'm going to take this shape and keeping it in my hands until it's longer than my hands. I'm going to use both hands. I'm going to roll back and forth with it. All right. And what I'm finding out is like this end is thinner than this end. So that means I need to focus and come back to this a little bit. But once it's longer, then I need to stop. So Ella's is getting longer, and I'm going to lay it on the table. One of the problems with the coiling is we don't really want to squeeze it too much with your fingers because it flattens it. But you're going to use the palm of your hand. You don't want to use your fingers, but use your palm. And you roll it. And then here's what you need to feel for. As you're rolling your clay, it's going to start going boom, 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 boom. That means that the side of your clay is starting to get flat, and flat is bad. So anytime, is this flat or no? Please talk to me.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, so Ella's is a little bit flat. So what she's going to do is she's going to roll it up, and when it's flat, she's going to kind of press on it a little bit to try and get it more into the round. So just kind of press it while you roll it. And once you get to the point where you need two hands, I start in the middle. So Ella, I'm going to have you slide over just a little bit so I can go right to the middle of the screen. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it because it's starting to crack. So I'm going to take both hands, and my hands are going to go out. Go out as I roll. And I'm helping my clay to get longer. Kind of feel, you can hear the weird sound it's making because it's sticking to my tablecloth. Oh, now look here. It's starting to show the cracks again, which isn't terrible right now. But as soon as you start to see some cracks, please add some water to it. But if you don't add water, the terrible part is what comes next. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to take this, and it's dry. Still very dry, so I'm going to add a little more water to it. And the next step is going to be to make my first coil. So this is great for making like a coil pot, the base of something. You can make it a coil. You can make it just a slab. But coils are, here we go. So I take my coil and I bring it around into a circle. That's pretty simple. Now, as long as my coil's really soft, the other thing that I can do with it is I can coil it in really, really tight, like this. And I'm always adding water to it. You keep rolling yours out and roll it just a little bit thinner. I'm going to have you use that coil on mine. All right. So you probably are going, Mrs. Kleinert, I know it's a coil, but will this stick together? Because you have not scored it at all. You haven't roughed up the surface at all. So because of the pressure, it does do a pretty good job. But here's something you can do with this to attach it and to help it stick together. As I'm rolling it, I can take my toothbrush or whatever it is, and I'll do this method, add some water to it, and then I roll it. So anywhere that my pieces are going to touch, I am going to try and comb it, scrape it, something like that. That'll just gives it a little extra support. I'll definitely do it right here where it's going to touch into this one. All right, Ella, let's see yours. I'm going to put mine up here, and Ella's going to bring hers in the screen. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're going to use Ella's. She's got it nice and soft. There's no cracks in this thing, so this is great.
Thank you.
And I want to start making a coil pot. So I would take this, and I'm going to test the length first. And I know that I only need that much to lay right on top of my pot. So then I'll take the knife and slice it. Now I cannot leave this just laying here. I'm not done. What do I have to do, Ella?
Score it.
Score it. So take it off, comb it,
Put some water.
put some water on it. All right, put some water on both surfaces and then stick it on.
Ta-da!
Awesome. All right, and now we're going to add our next piece on. So I test it to make sure it's got the right amount of space. And I'm probably going to go ahead and attach it about the same spot that I attached the other one. Put the pieces together. If you bring them together so that every time you bring the pieces together at the same spot, it makes it prettier on the front side. All right, so that means we got to take it off, score them. Have my comb sitting over here too. Add a little bit of water to it. You can try combing it too. Oh, comb works better for this, doesn't it? And then add your next piece on. All right. Awesome. Now, if we're not going to eat out of this, it's okay if there's any gaps along the side of this. But if you're going to actually add some food or something to this, then you would need to make sure there's no gaps. All right, we'll put one more on. Make the slice. Add the score. Oh. It broke. It broke. Guess what? I can still use it. I'm going to go ahead and score. Don't make it too thin over there, Ella. I'm just going to score them separately. Now, the reason why it broke is because we were not adding water to it, or because it was getting too soft. So I'm still going to use it. I'm not going to restart. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to put both of these in here, and I can connect it back up together. And it still looks pretty amazing. Coil pots, I will say, are one of the hardest things to make with clay. There's so much more and extra scoring. Ella's making a beautiful little design, and we're going to add it onto the side of the pot. All right, so here we go. Here's our coil pot. It looks really pretty awesome. There's some extra scoring that I found in here, and I don't want that to show, so I'm smoothing it over. So one of the things that you could have actually done with this is from this point in time is you can take some of your clay and you could turn it into the head of a snake. And this is actually, I would score it and bend it over. So there's the head. I'm sorry, guys.
Or a handle.
A head of a snake. A handle, I don't know how full that, how big, how much that would hold. And then you could take a little more clay if you really want it to look like a snake and attach a tail on the back. So that's a snake idea.
Pretty, pretty.
Ella took her coil. Show them what you made.
Little heart.
And she's made a heart with it. So if we took the heart, we scored it. This is all in the back. And then we scored right here where we actually attached the pieces together. So now I'm going to take this and stick it on like that. So there's a heart. Now, this is pretty great. I like how this look is, but again, coiling is a little more work than you think because you have to score each and every piece. It didn't use this is a very small amount of clay that was used, maybe about the size of our snowman that was used to make this, maybe only even part of it. And it looks beautiful. You could be finished with this as is. If you're finished with this project as is, you're a job so that I know if it's yours or if it's someone else's is to put your initials on the bottom of it.
E. Haha.
EC. And then grade level
6.
is 6.
I'm 6 years old.
Not your age, your grade level. So I know there's other ECs in the school, but I know that Ella is the only EC in the 6th grade. So that'll be really simple and easy to get right back to her. So since I'm done with it, this clay will sit out somewhere to dry.
Yeah.
And then we'll take the rest of our clay and we're going to put it back in the bag to use for next time. Or if you want to make something else, or if you want to wait and watch all the videos. If you want to do the head with it. I'm kind of pushing this down because I want to remove some of the air out of the bag. So this is what I would do at the end of time. The next video we're going to make is going to show you how to do a pinch pot. And a pinch pot shape will give you, here's a piece of fired clay, a bowl. This is what we'll use to make the planters that have the famous heads to them. So that's what the next video is going to show you. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for coming to watch to see how you make the beautiful coil pots and coil pieces.
Bye.
Bye.